Good morning, gorgeous souls, and welcome to stage 3 of the alcohol freedom journey, the wellness tree journey, sober curious to alcohol freedom. This is where things start to get really exciting, because if you recognize yourself in this stage is the place where most people find themselves in the world of grey area drinking, and it's this place that feels very confusing. Coming off that toe dipper end that I shared with you last week, now we are really morphing into the swimmer stage, and it's where we really do feel like two different people, where we feel like we know where we want to go, we have some clarity around that. Let's dive into this together, because this was a very confusing place that I was in for so long, and I'm sure because you're here in this group you will resonate with this too. So the intention for this video is to bring some comfort, some reassurance, some steadiness, and some connection and some grounding, which is what we so need right now. So this is for you if you're a sober curious, leaning more into wanting to find alcohol freedom, woman who is, maybe you are a professional, you have a business, you have a mission that you're bringing into the world, you have clients, you have customers, you own a business, or you're a creative, you're wanting to bring your art into the world, however that looks for you. Maybe you just love personal development and you are on a journey of growth, of conscious, intentional living, and you want to bring some consistency, more calm, more human to human and nature into your world, you're really going to resonate with my work. It's for you if you're spinning in cycles with alcohol, you're not rock bottom and you're not needing to be medically detoxed. This is for grey area drinkers, and so you know that alcohol isn't something that's, you know, something that you can take it or leave it, but it is actually a problem. And this is what I talk about with grey area drinking, these cycles, these, you know, you can stop drinking, but staying stopped is the problem. Staying consistent with not drinking, with your healthy habits, with the things that you really love to do, those really soul-fueled habits, is where you want more consistency. So who is the swimmer? Who is she? Well, as far as the wellness tree is concerned, and the wellness tree is my own methodology that I used to start my sober journey over 10 years ago, and it was messy, it was imperfect, but I had a structure, I had a root system, which is what I eventually, you know, worked with and turned into to create that alcohol freedom and sugar freedom, and now using it, growing my business and living in a way that feels really calm, really steady. And so the swimmer is the woman who has had alcohol-free days. She's experienced it. She can stop drinking, whether that's a few days, weeks, months, maybe even a year or two. And we can go back into this swimmer stage. We don't really go back into toe dipper, but we do go back into swimmer, whether that's we're wanting to drink less and working towards drinking none, we're just ready to really get back on track with no alcohol at all, and we're all different, right? But the swimmer has tried to change. She has tried to change. She knows what to do. She logically knows what to do, but can't find that getting herself all on board. It's not landing for her. So she's seen glimpses of freedom. She's experienced glimpses of Pleasure Island and that whole paradise living. She can see it in her mind's eye maybe, but actually bringing it into her day-to-day life is her challenge. And so she keeps getting pulled under. So she's not struggling because she doesn't know what to do. She's struggling because she can't hold herself consistently yet. Now this is the real problem that's going on with our swimmer. And I'm going to go slow here so that you can really hear this and you can really take this in. It's not about willpower. It's not about trying harder. And it's not about more discipline. It's actually about capacity. It's about how much of yourself you can hold and stretching into your edges and holding more. It's all about the nervous system. You see, the swimmer, she hasn't yet found her anchor within. And this is something that we all have within us. And it's about building emotional resilience. It's about emotional sobriety. It's about trusting ourselves, trusting in the unknown, sitting and working with discomfort, and owning all parts of ourselves that want to come up, that have a message. And they show themselves as cravings, doubts, fears, limiting beliefs, all of the stories that we tell ourselves. And so this is a capacity problem. The nervous system isn't fully regulated yet. And we try and do this with alcohol because it's the quickest thing that we know to soothe ourselves, to numb, to not feel, to escape, to avoid, to just have that exhale at the end of the day, at the end of a stressful day, or after a row with a loved one, or after, some kerfuffle at work or something, or just something's going on in our private lives that just feels too huge to hold. And so the nervous system isn't fully regulated yet, and yet is the key word, because we absolutely can teach ourselves a new way. It's not logical. It's not logical. It's about the body. This is a feeling journey. It's something we feel. It's an energetic feeling journey. Not only that, there's so many different parts to ourselves to this, which is exactly what the Wellness Tree supports us with. It's also about identity, who we are being, because we're not fully anchored in our new identity yet. The version of us that doesn't drink anymore, the version of us that does feel calm and steady and knows how to self-regulate and knows how to unwind after work, for example, in natural, healthy ways. And that's where it feels like we have one foot in the drinking world hanging on to that because that is our current anchor, and then 1 foot in the sober world because that's actually who we want to be, because we feel so good when we make aligned choices, when we are showing up as the truest, most present version of ourselves, and we're really in our hearts, but it feels too scary to be all in that yet. And our brain is going ding, 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 this doesn't feel safe. Let's go back to dry land. Let's go back where we know it. Even if it's painful, uncomfortable, it's familiar, it's what we're used to. So we need to know how to work with our brains, with these primal animalistic parts. It's taming the tiger within. And this is something I'm currently working on with the ladies in Strong Roots. We're learning how to tame these inner tigers, how to settle and soothe them in natural ways. And it's also about habits, because the new habits, they're not fully stabilized yet. And I teach specific anchor habits that are rooted in our nervous systems. I teach these inside of Strong Roots. So what this looks like if we don't have these things in place, these anchors in place, we have these emotional triggers that will come up, and we'll feel it. We'll feel wobbly. We'll start doubting ourselves. We have holes in our energetic field, in our frequency, holes in the boat as we are making this what feels like really treacherous journey across the sea. We are swimming along, we're doing it, we're really trying, we're really trying, we're giving it our all, and we're getting tired. We're getting so tired. We don't know how to work with our thoughts and our mindset. We don't know how to rest. We don't know how to work with our energies. We're in this striving, doing, ticking things off. I did, my 6 things today, or I did my 75 hard challenge today. I had an on-track day. Amazing, brilliant. How are you now settling and soothing and being? Do you trust? Are you receiving? Are you in your feminine flow as well? And that is where next week we'll be diving into the mermaid energy, because she is working in harmony and balance with both of these energies. So when we get busy and tired, we're going back to our old familiar patterns, because let's face it, it takes a lot of mental energy to establish new patterns, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. But once we've put in the work, we've stayed committed, we've built these rhythms, these rituals. Again, we do all of this in Strong Roots. Once we've built that, this is how we are rewiring. This is how we are working with the nervous system. We are anchoring into the new identity, and we are building these really strong and steady habits. Now, all of this is what we're doing by creating on-track days. And you can only create an on-track day, whether you're drinking less, whether you're drinking none. You can only do that if you have a plan in place, a freedom plan. Now, the freedom plan is something that you don't just knock it up in an evening and you don't just shove it in the desk and forget about it in a desk drawer, which I have done so many times. Beautiful, elaborate action plans, and I've made them way too complicated, impossible to achieve. We all do it. So we need simple, easily achievable mini habits, structure that we can easily implement in our day that support these three things: nervous system, identity, and habits. And that's why we need to have a freedom plan in place. Again, we do this in Strong Roots together. So the swimmer, she kind of dips in and out of her sober journey. She dips in and out because she hasn't built a strong root system yet, her strong inner anchor to hold her steady. And then because she doesn't do this, there'll be self-sabotage, there'll be drifting, there'll be distraction, there'll be reaching for things that don't feel good when we start. For me, it was over drinking. It was drinking way too much. It was accompanied with binge eating, over sugaring, numbing out, really not feeling good about myself at all. And that led to waking in the night with 3 a.m. anxiety, promising myself I wouldn't do this anymore, just feeling absolutely dreadful, just feeling sick and tired of feeling that way, not being present for my husband in my relationships, friendships, being present in my home. I was always consumed with these thoughts about this horrible drinking cycle, the horrible binge eating sugar cycle, and it was all because I wasn't working with my nervous system. I had a few healthy habits in place, but I couldn't stay consistent with them. I knew what I wanted, and I knew that I knew basically how I didn't want to feel. I wanted more energy. I wanted to feel good about myself. I wanted to show up for my work and feel proud and feel truly me, and that I was giving all of me, the best version of me I could, to my day, to my relationships, to my dog, to my home, and that I could be walking around nature, taking my dog for a walk, and I could see the beauty that was around me, not walking around with my head down thinking, oh, how am I going to not drink tonight? Am I going to drink at the weekend? How many bottles shall I buy? Hang on, I said I wasn't going to drink this week. Oh, I've got that dinner to go to. Those people are going to be drinking. They're going to be asking me why I'm not drinking. What do I tell them? It was just so consuming. I didn't want that anymore. It was absolutely robbing me of my time, my energy. It was expensive. I was spending a fortune on wine, loading my shopping trolley with absolute rubbish, and life is so precious. Life is so precious. So, if some of this is resonating with you, let me know. I know that so many people, especially people who are doing amazing things in the world, leading, holding large spaces, up to incredible things, they are trying to deal with this themselves. They wouldn't necessarily be in sober groups looking for sober things, because that doesn't resonate. And that was true for me too, which is why I created the wellness tree. Because here's the thing, here's what I know. It's not about the alcohol, it's not about the sugar, or whatever the thing is. It's about the relationship we have with ourselves. And it's about creating a life that feels so good that you don't need to rely on alcohol to escape. When I realised this, when I worked with my wellness tree in simple, very simple ways, because I also had high anxiety, I had panic attacks, I had all of the stuff going on, When I started really having some simple habits to support my nervous system in place and getting a whole ton of nature as well, alcohol problems started to fall away. Then the sugar thing kicked in even worse. That was my underlying problem. And I then worked on that. And now it's not a thing. I can't believe it. Literally last year, end of last year, I just really noticed it's not a thing anymore. And I can have a piece of cake now once in a while. And I really am really super low sugar. I hardly ever have it now. I had a piece of cake last weekend. My friend took me out for a belated birthday lunch. And I thought to myself, well, if we have cake, we have cake. If I don't, I don't. It's not a thing. And I had cake and I enjoyed it and it was no big deal. I haven't even thought about it since till it popped into my mind. That's huge for me. Honestly, that is so huge. And all I can say is just to, if you're struggling too, just keep chipping away. Keep chipping away. It's literally taken me so long, so many years. But things unwind. Things unwind. And the biggest thing that I've understood from really working on this is noticing when cravings come up, when discomfort comes up, I don't need to react with that. I used to. I'd be like, give me the cake, give me the wine. This is horrible. I'm just fed up. My rebel would pop up. My inner child would stomp her feet. But actually, they have a message. And I started to work really closely, especially with my rebel. She's a fiery girl, and when she wants something, she wants something. But now we work together, and I don't fight with my brain anymore. And let me know if you've experienced this too, or if you have experienced moments of this, because this is so much more peaceful. Honestly, and this allows us to open up now. There's enough safety within us. We have to get that level of safety where, okay, we can open up and we can then receive and we can be more in that lovely feminine flow. And this is what I can't wait to talk about this next week. This is where our mermaid stage 4 comes in. She will, all the time we're in this swimmer stage where it might be frustrating, we might want to give up, we might be feeling really hard on ourselves, really beating ourselves up. Like, no, we don't want to do that. That actually causes so much damage. And I could never see this because people used to say, trusted people I used to confide in used to say to me, Kath, just be kinder to yourself, have some compassion. And I used to say, yeah, I get that, but that's not going to fix the problem. I wanted the strategy, I just wanted to do it. And in the end, I just thought, you know what, I just got to enjoy this journey and I've just got to be patient. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Really heart-centered living. Let's all of us, message for me too, let's all really start even more deepening into that heart space, being kinder to others, even just noticing on the road when I'm driving the aggression, and just noticing, and let's all just be kinder. Reaching out to people maybe we haven't connected with for a while and just checking on them. Handwriting a letter to a friend. Like, do people ever write letters anymore? I know I used to as a child, and I still actually have a friend who does that, and it's so nice. Just sending a little message or just reaching out to somebody, just like, let's bring more love into our days because it's contagious, it helps us feel good, and it raises our vibration. So back to our swimmer, we are really raising our vibration in this stage. We're really working on this stage. It might feel like failure, but actually the failures hold the medicine. They hold our life's lessons. They show us what's working for us, what's not working for us, you know, what just doesn't feel good anymore. We get to refine and tweak our freedom plan. I'm just checking my notes here. So basically in this stage, we are bringing safety to our body, which takes a while. We're teaching it safety. We are building our daily rhythms. We are building days, creating on-track days. This is something I talk about a lot. It might not necessarily be that you're ready to be alcohol-free yet. Maybe you don't know, and that's okay. It's all part of the journey. Maybe you're wanting to take a break from drinking, or see if you can change your relationship with alcohol. It's so personal. I explored this stage for a long time. I explored moderation and I tried for ages to make it work. And I discovered it wasn't for me. As most people discover, it takes a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of focus. But it is possible for some people. I had an old client who has managed to do it, and I checked in with her recently, asking her how she is, how she's getting on, and she said, yeah, it's all going really good. I'm on track. I am drinking, but it's really intentional. It's really conscious, and I feel good about that. And that, to me, I'm so happy for her, because at the end of the day, I want people to be doing what they want to be doing. If something feels good and they're happy, that's amazing. That's great. For someone else, it might be alcohol just doesn't sit right with me anymore, which was how it was for me. And my on-track days don't have alcohol in them. My on-track days generally don't have any sugar in them. Some on-track days do have an intentional choice of sugar in them. It's something that we get to craft and hone and tweak, but we have to be okay with playing, with exploring, with not judging ourselves, not judging other people. And that is where the wellness tree really does hold us here, because, as I said, it's not about the alcohol or the sugar, but we need a root system to plug into, not just at the end of our day, but all of those tricky times where it can feel wobbly. Some examples are, you know, the evenings, it can be weekends, it can be holidays, it can also be transition times, like when you've maybe had a really great holiday, you've stayed on track and you're coming home. And that is a transition time where I always encourage people to have another plan in place, a transition plan. So specific things that you're going to do to help you transition, because that can actually feel quite a wobbly time. And then you can just slide back into your ordinary routine. This is deep work. This is deep holding wellness tree work that I love and adore. And it's taken me so much messiness, so many mistakes. But you know what? I needed all that to be able to get clear on what works for me, and the same for you too. So it might feel that we're constantly starting again, or, oh, this isn't working and this feels hard and this feels... Just take a breath, take a pause, grab a notebook, grab a piece of paper, and just ask yourself, question 1, what's not working? So what's not working anymore? What doesn't feel good? What's like, no, done with that? And then another page, write what's working. What is working that I'm currently doing, that I really enjoy, that I would like to take along with me. And keep those things, bundle them up, bundle them into a freedom plan, and build on that. Build on that. And then check in with yourself in a few weeks' time. Right, how's it going? What's not working? What's working? Get rid of that. Maybe you want to create less things on your plan. Maybe you want to bring something else in, something you haven't tried. It's this constant process, and this is how we're shaping the new identity, the new version of us, the true version of us. It's remembering who we are. And just like a little baby acorn contains everything it needs, it contains the entire oak tree within it. Think of it like the wellness tree. We all have an inner wellness tree. That's a seed within you. All of your desires, your dreams, everything you want to create. Your paradise lifestyle, however that looks for you. For me, it's so simple. It's nature, it's time with my husband, a few selected friends, building my business, loving village life. Really simple, eating well, simple things in life. I love it. Take all that. That is your paradise lifestyle. Plant it. Let it grow. It needs feeding, it needs nurturing, it needs nourishment. This is all part of building our root system, exactly what we're working on in Strong Roots. So the swimmer is basically the person who she's working on self-trust. She's learning to stay steady. She's learning emotional resilience so she doesn't get pulled under the sea. Unlike the mermaid, that she chooses to dive deep into an emotion. We'll cover that next week. The swimmer, she won't get pulled off. She's learning about that. She's learning to ride with those waves. And she doesn't need alcohol to cope. So she is becoming rooted. She's becoming rooted. So next week is the last week of this series, and we're going to be covering the mermaid. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to share mermaid with you. And this is where we really do become the rooted leader. If you've enjoyed this series so far, if this is resonating with you, if you're curious to learn more and you'd love to have a look at Strong Roots, have a look at the information, it's my affordable monthly membership. Drop the word roots in the comments and I will send you the details. It's an application process because it's a very small group of us, but I really want to be conscious, I want to consciously create this group together. It's an amazing space, it's a magical space, and honestly, the ladies are in there are just really understanding, they're really knowing now it's okay to share the messy parts of ourselves. It's a place where we build trust together, it's judgment-free. It's learning to live this with our wellness trees together. Anyway, if you want the details, pop details in the comments, or roots, whatever the word was I said, I can't remember now, details. And I will leave you to think about the swimmer, see if this resonates. Any questions, pop them below. Wishing you a gorgeous rest of the day or evening ahead. I will see you same time next week for the mermaid. Lots of love.